The United States of America has a rich and complex history, marked by significant events and figures that have shaped the nation into what it is today. From its early days as a British colony to its emergence as a global superpower, the country has undergone countless transformations and faced numerous challenges. The first inhabitants of what is now the United States were indigenous tribes, who had lived on the land for thousands of years. In the late 15th century, European explorers began to arrive in the Americas, with Christopher Columbus making the first recorded voyage to the mainland in 1492. In the early 17th century, the first permanent British colonies were established in the Americas, with Jamestown, Virginia being the first in 1607. The colonies grew rapidly, and by the mid-18th century, there were 13 British colonies along the Atlantic coast. These colonies were largely self-governing, but were still subject to British rule. The American Revolution, which began in 1775, marked a turning point in the nation's history. After years of conflict, the colonies declared their independence in 1776, with the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The war ended in 1783, with the Treaty of Paris, which recognized the United States as a sovereign nation. The early years of the United States were marked by territorial expansion and the growth of industry. The Louisiana Purchase of 1803, in which the United States purchased a large portion of land from France, expanded the nation's territory significantly. The country's economy also began to develop rapidly, with the growth of industries such as textiles, steel, and railroads. The Civil War, which lasted from 1861 to 1865, was one of the most significant events in American history. The war was fought between the northern states, which were known as the Union, and the southern states, which were known as the Confederacy. The Union emerged victorious, and slavery was abolished as a result. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the United States underwent a period of rapid industrialization and urbanization. The country also became involved in World War I, joining the conflict in. The war ended in 1918, with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles. In the years following World War I, the United States experienced a period of prosperity known as the Roaring Twenties. However, this prosperity was short-lived, and the country was hit hard by the Great Depression in the 1930s. World War II began in 1939, and the United States entered the conflict in 1941, after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. The war ended in 1945, with the defeat of Germany and Japan. The United States emerged as a global superpower, and played a major role in shaping the post-war world. In the years following World War II, the United States experienced a period of economic growth and prosperity. The country also became involved in the Cold War, a period of tension and competition with the Soviet Union. The Cold War ended with the collapse of the Soviet Union. The United States continues to be a major global power, and its history continues to be shaped by events and figures that will be studied for years to come.